Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your TWitWoW Five Fave Fives. It is the 8th ever edition of this commentary, and I think I might be more excited for this edition than I have been for any previous edition, because this is crazy. Because guys, guess what? We finally officially managed to be rid of the other section. We no longer have an other section, because while we will still maybe possibly have a performer or two in our overall top 10 lists that isn't in any of the companies that are in our actual Five Fave Fives this time around, we are actually paying enough attention to 5 different wrestling companies that we are able to have 5 Fave Fives, one for each different company, or I guess brand or umbrella, however you want to look at it. So very excited about this time around. And on this one, we are going to be doing a Fave 5 for the WWE, which encompasses Raw, SmackDown, and 205 Live. We'll be doing one for NXT, which encompasses both NXT Full Sail and NXT UK. Then we'll be doing one for New Japan, Stardom, and finally, AEW. So those are our 5 Fave Fives: WWE, NXT, New Japan, Stardom, AEW. And then we will have a universal top 10 of our top 10 favorite performers in the world of wrestling. And I only said that there's a chance that someone might show up that isn't in one of our 5 Fave Fives because a certain somebody with a relatively fluid last name that we all know John loves isn't in any of the companies that are comprising our 5 Fave Fives right now. So I'm fully expecting that name to make an appearance in his universal top 10. That being said, though, John, how excited are you to talk about our basically 25, or maybe in your case 26, favorite wrestlers in the world of wrestling today?
Brother, I'm stoked. I love this series. This is my favorite series that we do, as I say quite often. And to get up here again after a good bit of time, which has allowed us to experience a lot of wrestling, and again, even change the structure of this video commentary completely, is exciting stuff. So I'm really just eager to let our hair down, have fun with this, and just let the fandom fly, baby. This is what it's all about.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to talk about some of this stuff. So, I mean, hell, let's not beat around the bush any longer. Let's get into this thing. Do we just want to start with WWE with our honorable mentions? And then, assuming that's the case, do you want to go first or should I?
You can go first, my friend. I'll leave you to have that honor.
All right. I like the little game that we play where when one person lists their honorable mentions, the other person says how many people from those honorable mentions made their Fave 5. And I'm pretty sure at least this first name is probably going to be in your Fave 5. So, my honorable mentions: Bray Wyatt / The Fiend.
Yes.
McIntyre. The Viking Raiders. Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. And I kind of group them together, but I also really love them individually. Sasha Banks. Aleister Black. Chad Gable, Big E, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Ember Moon, Liv Morgan, and Drew Gulak.
Yeah, you have quite a few of my 5 in your honorable mentions.
Yeah, I'll tell you too, I just want to kind of make this known before we really dive in deep here. I'm treating my honorable mentions almost like reserve spots. It's like the bench. Like, I feel like I never want from one 5 Fave Fives video to the next to have somebody go from completely unmentioned to being on my Fave 5. Like, I really would like for anytime somebody gets added to my Fave 5 that wasn't on it for the previous commentary, I want to be able to look back and see that they were in the honorable mentions. So this is a list of, for me at least, the honorable mentions list is a list of people who either A, I love but haven't been doing enough to really get my attention and really grip me and really make me excited to see them on TV. B, people who are exciting to me but really haven't fully clicked to the point that I absolutely fall in love with them. Or C, just kind of people that I like and haven't really fully fallen in love with yet, but am totally open to the possibility of it happening.
Nice.
All right, so that's my honorable mention. Now, who are yours?
All right, let's talk about it. My honorable mentions are Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Bayley, Ember Moon, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, The Revival, Kofi Kingston, Drew Gulak, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Aleister Black, and Samoa Joe.
Okay, I'm going to be real with you, man. I counted Isaiah Swerve Scott as an NXT performer.
Interesting, because I've seen him on 205 Live, and we've seen him on 205 Live twice, so I felt like my including him there counts.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You can include him there because of the 205 Live stuff. I think I'm just more excited about him in NXT, but you're probably more right than me about this, honestly, because, like you said, he's been in 205 twice. He's only been in NXT once, but whatever. I still counted him towards NXT.
Hey, whatever works, man. So now let's get to our top 5. You go first. Who came in at number 5 on your list?
Believe it or not, one of your honorable mentions. My number 5 is Ricochet.
Very nice. Why did you make your top 5?
Well, I really went into this thinking, like, who, when I hear their name is going to be on a show, gets me excited to watch at least their part of that show. And the top 2 or 3, and really maybe even the top 4 were really easy for me. And then the 5 spot, I was like, God, who else? And then once I thought of Ricochet, I couldn't think of anyone else that I would rather put above him, because he is one of the really, really few Raw acts that I actually get excited for and really want to watch whenever he's on TV. So whether it's, facing Baron Corbin or Bobby Roode, he's one of the few acts where I don't really care how boring his opponent is. I still want to watch his matches because of how good he is.
Right. That makes perfect sense to me. Ricochet is a phenomenal athlete, and his star is definitely growing, dude. With how that crowd popped for him beating Drew to advance in the King of the Ring, I'm really hoping that we see Ricochet in the main events in early 2020, honestly. Yeah. I definitely think he's a main event waiting to happen. Is there anything else you want to say about Ricochet?
No, I think that's it.
All right, then my number 5 is the Professor, or whatever they're calling him now, the new wrestling machine, Cesaro.
Okay. Did his match with Ilya Dragunov have anything to do with this placement?
Honestly, I haven't gotten around to watching it, but dude, his King of the Ring match with Joe, his matches with Ricochet, which I think fit this timeline, just everything, man. Everything he's been doing lately. He's just been so good. I love that he's up in the intensity. I love that he's bringing it, man. I love watching that man do what he does. His match with Alexander, where he worked over the leg viciously, and is probably going to be the reason Cedric gets eliminated. What I want to say tomorrow night. Cesaro, he's a beast, man. I think he's still one of the most underrated by the company itself performers that they've got under contract right now. You could put a world title on him tomorrow, and I'd believe it. He's insane.
Yeah. All right. Cesaro is a great choice. I'm actually, unfortunately, it seems like he might actually be a member of the NXT UK roster now. Like, it might be a new home for him. So here's to hoping his days on the main roster aren't necessarily completely over, and that his amazing reception at NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff maybe gets some eyes in the brass noticing, like, oh, maybe we can do something with this guy,
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, number 4 for me. I'd be willing to bet this guy's not going to be on your list at all, and he wasn't in your honorable mentions. Humberto Carrillo.
Talented guy, but that's all you, fam. What do you like about Humberto?
Dude, what isn't there to like about Humberto Carrillo? He is amazing. He is, I would say, one of the top 3 or so most exciting in-ring workers in the WWE at this point. And the weird thing is, he's one of the taller ones. Like, you look at most of the really exciting performers in WWE, they're pretty much all under 6 feet. They're all smaller guys. They're all what I bet Kevin Nash would describe as vanilla midgets. But this dude is like 6'1", and he looks like 90s Mario Lopez, and like he's super charismatic and entertaining, and I just really, really enjoy his matches. So I mean, hopefully he is able to pick up on the English quickly, because I don't want there to be a ceiling for this guy. I want this guy's ceiling to be the fucking stars.
Well said. All right, coming in at number 4 for me, the boss, Sasha Banks.
Nice.
I wasted no fucking time, friend. She came back with a purpose. She straight up abused Natalya and threw her dead father right in her face.
You know what? That explains why she ranked so highly on your list, because she immediately targeted your least favorite performer.
Yes, and I ain't gonna front about it. That is why. But also the brief match she had when she came back. You know what that match achieved for everybody that wanted to gripe about it? It reminded you in one match how good she is at fucking everything, because she bumped her ass off for Natalya. Her heel psychology was implemented breathtakingly to really animate the match, and she's a heel now, and I feel it. I'm feeding off of it. You cannot put the Raw Women's Championship on this woman soon enough. I love Becky, but you know what? I think if you want to maintain Becky's momentum and you want to make her anti-establishment and this and that, take the belt off of her and have her honestly chase it. This is what and I'm trying to keep my words economical for this commentary, but just to go on a little bit in this case, this is always my problem with WWE. They pick somebody that's the underdog, but then they make them the top dog, and everything that comes with it, good and bad.
Yep.
I'd like to see Becky struggle again. I think that's where her stock comes in, her value comes in, I'm trying to say, is when she struggles. And I think Banks needs to run this fucking division. She needs to be the heel. And if you want to try Ronda as a babyface again, which I wouldn't, but WWE's done worse things, to have a bully boss in Sasha Banks, who's fucking trained with Meiko Satomura, just go full heel on her ass seems amazing to me. So yeah, Sasha Banks is number 4. Legend in the fucking making. Oh my God.
Yeah, I tell you, the reason she didn't make my Fave 5 and she was an honorable mention is because I just don't like the direction they're taking her character. You know, basically trying to rewrite history, trying to pretend that she didn't care about the tag titles and shit is just frustrating to me. So,
right.
That being said, though, as a performer, she's still the fucking best they got. So, yeah, I totally get why you'd make her number 4 for you. I'm a little bit concerned that we're going to have each other's number 1 at the other's number 3, because my number 3 is Andrade.
My number 3 is also Andrade. Exactly.
Oh, yes! Oh, what a relief. Okay, that's perfect. I'm so glad we both had him. Oh, wow. Okay, awesome.
You go first. What do you love about Andrade? And take
everything.
Your time,
what do you
yes.
really need to ask me that question? Is the better question is, what isn't there to love about Andrade? This dude is incredible. He is one of the best in the ring in the WWE. He is one of the best looking in WWE, most charismatic. If he fully is able to grasp and master the English language, again, I say, just like what I said with Humberto, zero ceiling. This dude's ceiling is past the imaginable.
Yeah, I mean, you said everything succinctly and eloquently. I mean, you also said he's good looking, because I was going to say that he's daddy material, so it's practically the same thing. Definitely needs to be king of the ring. Definitely should be the next WWE champion in a just world. And unfortunately, we don't live in one, so I don't know what's going to happen. But if this dude, like Ricochet and Andrade, I think should be main event players in 2020. Absolutely. You need to start having them at least closing shows on behalf of their brand, because we all know certain guys will definitively close the show, like Roman, like Becky, like Seth. But you need these guys to be in that upper echelon. You really do. And Andrade just has everything you want in a performer, especially a heel performer. I keep saying the packaging's fantastic. The man is fantastic. And God, I hope he wins that tournament. But again, you already hit the nail on the head. So do you mind if I just go into my number 2 then? Or
I mean, yeah, man, if you want to, you can go ahead.
Yeah, because we had the same number 3, so I don't know if you wanted to give your number 2 first or if I should.
Well, if we were going in order, it would be my number 3, then your number 3, then my number 2.
Okay, so then you go your number 2, because again, we had the same number 3. So
because I guarantee you my number 2 is not in your top 2.
Okay, who is it?
It's one of my guys. It's Buddy Murphy.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Murphy, Murphy getting TV time is a blessing, but then on top of that, the fact that he's had 3 amazing singles matches consecutively, in consecutive weeks, with maybe not necessarily fully top guys anymore, but with some of the top guys. Like, Roman is the top guy, and Bryan is the most entertaining guy, and probably, one of the top guys as far as, his standing within the company. And Ali is obviously getting some serious weight behind him because he's got all these cool video packages, and he beat Murphy, while Murphy was arguably at his hottest. So yeah, Murphy getting all these opportunities, being a part of this major storyline is really exciting to me. He, to me, is one of the most entertaining performers in the company. He, is amazing in the ring. A lot of people say, oh, he's ripping off Kenny Omega, but that's just because he does knee strikes. Nothing else about him says anything Kenny Omega to me. He does knee strikes, that's it. And Kenny Omega wasn't the first. Fucking Jinder Mahal was doing knee strikes back in 2013, 2012. long before anyone talked about Kenny Omega. So it's not like knee strikes are a Kenny Omega, and they're certainly fucking not a Jinder Mahal special either. It's just a style that some guys work, and Buddy Murphy works it, and he's amazing about it. And I honestly, he's somebody that I have been behind since long before anybody knew how good he was, and that makes me feel so validated to see him finally starting to kind of get the star treatment from fans, maybe even if he's not necessarily getting the full-blown star treatment from the company, and him being given this opportunity and just knocking it out of the park has got me glowing. So there you go.
Beautifully said. My number 2, Bray Wyatt.
I knew he was going to be high for you. I think we have the same number 1, though.
Fucking love him so goddamn much. I think he's one of the best things in the company right now. I even put up a poll, like, which Mandible Claw has been your favorite by The Fiend so far? Currently winning that poll is Mick Foley at 53% with 19 votes cast. So that's interesting. But, yeah, I'm just into everything he does. I hope the rumors of him challenging for the Universal title at Hell in a Cell are true, and I'll go one step further. I hope he wins the fucking belt. I hope he wins the fucking belt, and we won't even talk about him dropping it until Mania the earliest. It's amazing. I love the aesthetic. I love Firefly Funhouse. I love Bray as a performer. People criticize his in-ring, but I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of getting sick of in-ring talk these days, because I feel like most people, when they talk in-ring, is how many crazy spots can they do? And when I look at Bray, I think about the words of Jake Roberts. It's not how many moves you can do, it's when you do them.
Yeah.
And I just feel like he does everything at the right time.
I think I'm a little bit more of a fan of, like, the Spot Monkey style than you, and yet I still am totally behind you as far as just Bray is a genuinely good in-ring worker, even if he doesn't do crazy shit.
Exactly. And I adore him, and you need to give this man the world so that he can eat it and just never be separated from it ever again. You have a second chance to do it right. I swear, Vince, to quote Heelbook, if you fuck this up, I will physically kill you. So that's how I'm going to punctuate that. So who's your number 1?
Daniel Bryan.
Not my number 1, so you take it away.
Why? He wasn't even in your honorable mentions, dude.
I added him retroactively when I realized I forgot about him. So
wow! Holy shit!
Yeah, all yours, man.
Genuinely don't know who your number. Oh yeah, I do. Never mind. Fuck. Shit. I can't believe I forgot about. Okay. Well. Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan is the best wrestler in the world, and I shouldn't have to justify why he's number 1 for me.
Fair enough. My number 1 is Kairi Sane, and anybody that knows me, I shouldn't have to justify it either. So let's move on.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. As soon as you said he wasn't, once I thought about it, like, who the hell? I was like, oh shit, I forgot about Kairi.
Yeah, there you go. See, it happens.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I'm really surprised. How did Bryan not make your list?
Honestly,
have you just not been as into him lately?
See, I have, but I think relative to other people, I haven't. It's weird, and that's, I guess, why we call it a Fave 5, because if it was top 10, he would definitely be on there. Outside of, like, of course, our master list. But, yeah, like, I don't know. He's really, really good, but maybe he's so good I've taken it for granted. Who knows?
Dude, can I just say, I love how different our lists are this time around. The only thing we had in common was Andrade.
Actually, no, I'm not going to feel that, because then somebody's going to be the freaking antagonist, and I'm going to get upset. So I was going to be like, who wouldn't have Andrade? But I know somebody's out there. But yeah, man, I love it. I think it's freaking great. And I guess now we can move on to our next list.
Yeah, and I went first for WWE, so you get to go first now.
Oh my God, sharing.
NXT list, go. Let's go. Honorable mentions.
All right, Forgotten Sons, Undisputed Era, which would be Fish, O'Reilly, Fish and O'Reilly, and then I added Adam Cole separately, but you can group him in that too, obviously.
Yeah.
Io Shirai, Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, Shane Thorne, and Walter.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, my honorable mention, and by the way, if anybody's wondering how or why I have these things in the order that I do, I literally used Wikipedia's roster page, and I went in alphabetical order, and they also have the men listed before the women, and they have NXT listed before NXT UK. So that's why everything's in the order it is. I didn't put them in order of, like, you know, if we were going to the top 10, my top 5 honorable mentions wouldn't necessarily be my 6 through 10. It's just in alphabetical order based on the Wikipedia page. So you're going to love this, John. My first honorable mention. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Adam Cole.
Wow. Okay. I'm here for it.
Second honorable mention, Cameron Grimes. Third, Dexter Lumis, Dominic Dijakovic, Breezango, Keith Lee, Kyle O'Reilly, Shane Thorne, and then we go over to NXT UK, and my two honorable mentions from NXT UK are Tyler Bate and Killer Kelly.
Nice. Very nice.
All right, wow. There's only really one person in your honorable mention that surprised me that they didn't make your list. And you'll see why eventually, but I'm just a little surprised. But still, let's get into your top five. Who's your fifth?
Cameron Grimes.
Nice.
I loved him in the breakout tournament, and the moment they give this guy extended promo time, it's over for everyone else because they probably don't believe in God and they deserve to fail.
You got a bunch of ugly tattoos. You probably don't believe in God. I'm pretty sure the only reason you even get booked on these shows is because you're the only one from California.
Dude, he has got a charisma and a douchey charm that is just begging to be tapped into.
I think you're the only person I know who has ever used the phrase douchey charm.
I own it. I own it 1,000%. He's young. He's talented. He's got a great look. That's something him and Bate have in common, too. Their looks are both so unique. And I just think the world of him. I know you keep saying that the North American Championship is great for Velveteen Dream because he gets to work with workhorses and become better and more well-rounded. But when he graduates, quote-unquote, put the fucking North American title on Cameron Grimes, please. The dude would just run down the field and score touchdown after touchdown with it. I think the world of him. Enough said. Who's your number 5?
Rhea Ripley.
Awesome. Take it away.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to NXT UK, which is why she hasn't been on this list previously, but man, her showing up in NXT this past week got me all kinds of excited. She is such a talented performer. The idea of her basically being the bigger bully to take down Shayna Baszler is exciting as hell. I am just so happy that she's finally been, and in my opinion, it is being called up to NXT rather than NXT UK, because I think NXT UK, I know that there are a lot of people that love NXT UK, and I'm not trying to hate on NXT UK, but being realistic, a significantly smaller audience watches NXT UK than watches NXT, and they did it right before NXT is going to be going to the USA Network, and NXT UK sure as hell ain't doing that. So
yeah,
major excitement for me as far as Rhea Ripley being on the NXT Full Sail goes. Very excited.
Absolutely. Great sentiments, man. I think the world of Rhea Ripley. Excited to see what she does next. Moving right along, number 4, the EST of NXT, Bianca Belair. I think she's a diamond in the rough. I think she's right where she needs to be. I feel like she gets better every match. I enjoy her on the mic. I think she's got a great theme. She designs her own gear, so she knows how to cut costs. I really do hope that she gets a run with the NXT Women's Championship. No sooner than 2020. I know we're doing the stuff with Shayna. I would like to see Io get a heel run as well, but I do want to see that belt come around at Bianca. I just think she checks every box for me, and she is a bit on the older side for the women, but you know what, though? She picked it up quick to me, so that's how you kind of circumvent the age issue. And, yeah, I think whatever value they get of her on the main roster, she could really be a dynamo there too if they know how to present her right. Because I tell you, if you present her even 1/4 of the way they've presented Charlotte, she's just fucking taking everything. Because I think she's got the talent to back it up. Which Charlotte, you guys know, I do not think she has that. So yeah, Bianca Belair at 4. Who's your number 3?
No, my number 4, because I remember you went first. My number 4 is Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Yes.
I mean, we've talked about it before in live reactions. Nobody in wrestling moves the way this guy moves right now. He is completely unique with the way that he moves in the ring. And it's not even like, oh, he does cool moves. He just makes basic moves look cool. Like, he makes a single leg drop kick look dope as hell. He uses his foot to trip people and then set himself up to do another cool. Like, he doesn't necessarily do crazy shit that's going to get him injured. He does basic shit and just makes it look dope as fuck.
Yeah, that's all objectively true. He's insane.
And he's charismatic as hell, and like if WWE doesn't know what they have in him, I believe in his talent to the point that I think he can show them what they have in him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Anything else you want to say?
Go ahead, man. Number 3.
Number 3, Tyler Bate.
There you go.
And
Okay, so this definitely has got to have something to do with his match with Walter.
Absolutely. And again, guys, if you didn't see my tweet, I said, well, I felt like that match had a tendency towards excess at times. It was a career-defining match for him. And I just feel like, again, if you show me that kid can talk, I'll show you the printer where stacks are made. He's so good. To be as young as he is and to be as good as he is, not only in the – and when I say in the ring – it's not just the moves he can do, because again, I'm really starting to get a distaste for like the spot monkey style, mainly because it's just so fetishized over and everything else. But like his selling, that's what really made Walter Bate to me, was Bate selling, because it really seemed like that boxer that's been fighting so hard to be a contender going in there against Muhammad Ali in their prime. Yeah. Like it's insane. Like he struggled with everything he did. He knows how to tell a story in the ring, which, I mean, honestly, he's so good at that. Maybe he won't need to know how to talk. I'm just saying it certainly won't fucking hurt his case. I think Bate's incredible. I think, honestly, the sooner he goes back to NXT and leaves Trent Seven behind — I can't fucking stand Trent Seven — the more we can really start talking shop with Tyler Bate and making serious money, because this is a guy you could put in a feud with Adam Cole, and I'd be salivating for that takeover. So,
yeah, dude, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would. All right, you're next, brother. Who's your number 3?
This is the last surprise on my list, I think. Number 3 for me is Angel Garza.
I love it. Take it away, man.
Between his 2 NXT Breakout Tournament matches and his performance in the Captain's Challenge on 205 Live, I don't know if he'll ever overtake Andrade, but if WWE is kind of jaded on Andrade, I think they've found their next Hispanic star here. I mean, this dude is, again, like, I don't know where these guys keep coming out of the woodwork, but we've got another handsome ass, charismatic ass dude from Mexico who is incredible in the ring, and just, from what I understand, he already speaks better English than Andrade, so he might leapfrog Andrade in WWE's eyes. But, like, again, I say, what is there not to like? I just think he's got the whole package. Like, the only thing, to me, that he's lacking that Andrade doesn't lack is size. Because Andrade isn't, like, fucking huge. He's not Cesaro. But Andrade is a taller luchador, and he's got more bulk to him than Garza. Garza is just this ridiculously charismatic dude who is able to put on these amazing, entertaining matches without doing stupid shit. Again, I say, like, he doesn't have to go full blown like Ospreay on your asses in order to put on an amazing match. And his performance in that Captain's Challenge, man, had me fully enamored.
Yeah, I could tell, and I don't blame you, dude. Angel Garza.
I really wish the finals of the Breakout Tournament would have been either him or Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Grimes.
Yeah. So good. I think you really made his case. I have nothing to add. So, number 2 for me on NXT, Velveteen Dream.
Nice!
I say it every time. Excellent promo. I love the way he works, because the way he works in the ring means that he's going to be around for a long time. And I think it's the perfect storm for him to be a top star in this company. The only thing that's contingent on, and I'm just being honest with the way that I see it, our fans may disagree, it's really contingent on Kofi being more than an outlier. You know, we've talked about the history of WWE pushing black stars. Kofi, I think, has had a pretty decent run with the WWE title. It could always be better, of course, but hey, he's still the champion right now. I don't want that to be an outlier, and God knows New Day deserves to be more than that with the merch that they've pushed and everything else. But I really want him to blaze a trail so we can get excited about the Keith Lees and the Velveteen Dreams of the world. Because I got to tell you that seeing that video of Velveteen Dream, I don't know if it was at an expo, a con, or what, but where it was around all that WWE merch, you know, Hulk Hogan's, BOA thing, the championships, and then he touches the Universal title, like, in the case, and he says, "Dream over." I got goosebumps. I see this dude winning major championships. I see this dude headlining pay-per-views. And again, really, I should say the 2 biggest things. 1, Kofi not being an outlier, and 2, Vince seeing more than, oh, you're Black Gold Dust. Because I worry about that. I really genuinely worry about that, and I think I have legitimate reason for concern. But he's killing it right now in NXT as a North American champion. every time he shows up on my screen, I can't help but smile because he makes magic. And yeah, this is your license to print money right here. This dude, so fucking good.
Yeah. All right, man. Wow. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Dream. We've already kind of talked about, I like to put people on my list that I feel like I like more than Consensus, and I feel like Consensus still likes Dream more than I do.
I understand, man. Who's your number 2?
Number 2 for me, bro, it's Matt Riddle.
I'm just going to say right now, Matt Riddle was my number 1.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting that, but still, that's awesome. He's amazing. He deserves so much more than his fucking feud with Killian Dane, which I know you agree with. And yeah, he was your number 1, so I'm just going to say I hope Matt Riddle's the one to take the title off Adam Cole and then pass it over to you and let you do most of the praising.
Yeah, I mean, you already said a lot of the big talking points that I was saving in case, but then I should have known Matt Riddle was going to be on your list, because how could he not? This guy is everything WWE should be looking for right now, especially with SmackDown going to Fox. I think they want to be seen not just as sports entertainment, but maybe they're in an era where they want to emphasize the sports aspect with how they've kissed Brock Lesnar's ass, and with Matt Riddle now in NXT. Don't take your foot off the gas, because let me tell you something. This guy has a charisma to me and a magnetism that Brock only has, I think, because of Paul Heyman. Not to say that Brock doesn't have a comedic side or a charismatic side when he gets to tap into it a little bit. You know, the Brock party and all that stuff. But Matt Riddle, to me, can move merch. Matt Riddle, to me, can make money. You put that guy on the marquee for the WWE or Universal title, and to me, you buy it. I love him. I love watching his matches. I love the people that keep that technical catch, submission, whatever you want to call it, tradition alive. And he keeps it alive, and he brings a dynamic flair to it that I think so often is missing, because for those guys, it's like, oh, let me be ruthless and calculating and brooding and just go hold to hold to hold to hold. Matt Riddle has fun with it, and he can be intense. We've seen the intensity, and I love it. He's the best of Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar combined. And I think the sooner you get a world title on him to really test out how he does as a champion, the better. And I'm really pissed that he's feuding with Killian Dane. I know you already said it. I just want to double down. It is a waste of his fucking talents. It's an insult to his talents. It's an insult to me and the rest of his fans when this guy should be promoting a takeover main event with Adam Cole right fucking now. So I hope they get their shit together, because this man deserves the world. Love him to death. So yeah. I think I know who your number 1 is, but I want you to be able to say it. So who you got at number 1?
Yeah, man, I can't believe you put my number 1 in your honorable mentions. I'm actually almost offended by this. My number 1 is Io Shirai, because she's the best thing going in all of wrestling today right now.
Beautiful. I love it.
Jesus Christ. How was she not in your Fave 5?
I just don't connect with her the way that you do. I've come to realize. Like,
You know what though? I totally get that, because that's kind of how I am with Bianca and you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's really good. I won't deny that she's really good. It's just, I understand what it's like to breathe that air of like, God, I love this person. And I'm just like, yeah, they're good. And then want to move on to the next thing. And that's kind of where Io is with me right now. Although I will say I'm very much enjoying her heel work, but I'm going to let you do the majority of the talking here.
Yeah, man. Like, I get so excited to see her when her entrance begins and I realize that it's her coming out. My heart and my stomach immediately jump into my throat, and they don't go back to where they should be until after she's gone. Like, she, to me, is the best thing going right now. I get more excited to see her than pretty much anybody else right now. Like, she is just even the promos, like her Japanese promos with subtitles are great. The English promos that she cuts, however much less often she's doing that now that she's heel, are great. Her matches, incredible. Her facial expressions are ridiculous, and I fucking love it. She does crazy in a way that I don't think has ever been done in wrestling, because she does crazy in a way where it's like she can't decide if she's happy or angry. She just alternates between the two. Like, even her facial expressions, she'll look like she's about to smile, and then she'll look pissed again all over again. It's unbelievable to me, the way, like, she's got one of those elastic faces like Bliss. Like, her facial expressions, to me, are on the same level, if not better, than Alexa Bliss, who that's, like, her number 1 appeal. And then you combine that with, oh, by the way, she's also the best female wrestler on the planet. And, yeah, she knows some English, too. Like, this, to me, she's just she's the entire package. Like, there's not a single flaw with her right now, in my opinion.
I mean, brother, I will say this to Io's credit before we move on to our next list. She does crazy in such a way, like it's so toned down, because I think she wrestles more angry than crazy, which I like.
Yeah.
It's just not over the top like Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is definitely mellowed out, but like pre-mellow Nikki Cross, we couldn't stand because it was so cliched. And Io, I think, definitely has that reined in. This way, when you kind of see it seep through, it really means something. So definitely kudos to her there. But let's get to, and I'm really excited about this one, our New Japan Pro Wrestling list. I went first on NXT, so you go first on this, brother. What are you?
Yeah, you know what? Before I do my honorable mentions, I just want to ask you a very simple, vague question.
Sure.
In your Fave 5, how many of the 5 are juniors?
None.
Fuck, I fucking knew that was going to happen, man. How many times did I say during BOSJ earlier this year, man, I wish we would do a Fave 5 in like June because we're going to forget about all this amazingness by the time August comes around because of the G1.
Yep. Yeah, you did say that. You did say that.
Well,
yeah, I don't have a single junior in my Fave 5.
Oh, man, that sucks. I kind of have like 1.5. So anyway, my honorable mentions, though. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Oh, wow, yes.
Sonata.
Interesting.
Juice Robinson.
Okay.
Kenta.
Okay.
Kota Ibushi.
Okay.
Tetsuya Naito.
Wow, that's surprising. Okay.
Toru Yano.
Wow, really surprising. Okay.
Dragon Lee.
Okay.
El Phantasmo.
Okay.
Shingo Takagi.
Okay.
Sho.
Wow, okay.
And the young lion, Yota Tsuji.
I'm really curious about your Fave 5 now, because there were several names in there that I thought would have made your top 5.
Dude, I told you
right
last night before I went to bed, I told you I had a hard time making my New Japan Fave 5 because of the fact that there were so many that I wanted. Like, I could do a New Japan Fave 10 and it wouldn't feel out of place. It is that stacked.
Honorable mentions for me, I kept it very constricted. Naito, Shingo, Skrull, Jay White, Ibushi, Okada, God, Gorillas of Destiny, and Zack Sabre Jr.
Wow. I'm surprised Zack didn't make your list.
Yeah, I was at first, but then the more I look at this Fave 5, the more I'm like, no, this feels right.
All right, man. Well, are you ready to do our actual lists?
Absolutely. Who came in at number 5 for you?
I believe you would refer to this guy as Bay Dito.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
I love it.
Bandito is number 5 on my list because, again, like, I really wanted to get Bandito on this list because of the fact that, like, if you would have asked me after June, he would have made like the top 3 for me probably. Because
right.
I don't want to just forget about all the amazing shit that went down during BOSJ just because we just came off the G1 too. So I had to fit Bandito on here. I was kind of torn between whether to put him or Dragon Lee on the list because I knew I wanted to get a junior in there because of the BOSJ. But yeah, Bandito, like between his work in New Japan and his work in PWG, he's an easy Fave 5 for me. And I honestly had him at 4, but then I realized I had to move the guy that I had at 5 up ahead of him. So yeah, Bandito comes in at number 5.
Love it, man. Coming in number 5 for me, Jon Moxley.
Ah, and he's my number 4.
Okay, I'm going to keep this very quick since you have him higher. I don't think he's ever been better.
Yeah.
I love his intensity in the ring, and this guy is one of the best promos in the business right now. Go.
Yeah. He's returned to his pre-WWE form on the mic and then gotten better even. He is more focused than I've ever seen him. His matches are good, even if they're not necessarily New Japan level great. Although his match with Ishii, because it was against Ishii, was fucking great. And from what I understand, something went down where Suzuki attacked Shota Umino. So I hope that leads to a Moxley-Suzuki match. That's honestly like the number 1 Moxley dream match for me in New Japan right now that he's done Ishii already. So yeah, his work in New Japan so far has been much more extensive than his work in AEW, so I don't want to outright, just reject him in AEW because he's only done 2 things, and one of them was great and the other one was mediocre. But I just feel like his work in New Japan has been exemplary. I've really, really enjoyed, maybe not necessarily loved, but really, really enjoyed his matches. And I've loved his post-match comments with Shota. He's still just... Jon Moxley off the cuff is one of the best promos, like a million times better than 99.99% of the WWE roster scripted. So, yeah, Moxley's just incredible. So, easy number 4 for me. Curious who your number 4 is now.
Ishii.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. No.
Yeah.
You're not at 4, right? No.
Yeah.
Your list upside down. He's really at 2, right?
No.
Oh, well, he's my number 2.
Okay, then again, I'll keep it brief. He's a good pupper. The real best ballot machines suck at Kenny Omega, and I want him to be Intercontinental Champion. I'm going to keep that campaign going till I die, or he dies, whichever one comes first, which will probably be me, but I digress. You go.
If I made a top 10 matches in 2019 list, Kofi Bryan might still be at number 1, but Ishii would have 3 of the top 5.
Yeah, he's so fucking good.
He is consistently the best in-ring worker in the wrestling world right now, in my opinion. I want to emphasize the my opinion thing because I know people are going to be like, oh, but no, this guy. No, in my opinion, Ishii is the number 1 best in-ring performer in the world right now. And I really, even right down to his character, I feel like he nails it because his character is basically... He is always the bridesmaid, never the bride. He is the gatekeeper. He is never going to win a world championship. He probably won't ever even win the Intercontinental Championship, although I would give a fucking testicle to get him to do it. And honestly, I just love how adaptable he is. You put him in the ring with a high flyer, and I guarantee you he'll find a way to bust out a Hurricane Rana. You put him in the ring with a fucking power wrestler, and he'll do a goddamn... fucking ocean cyclone suplex or some crazy shit like that with a 300-pounder on his shoulders. You put him in the ring with a striker, and I mean, he's already in his element. He's an amazing striker. You put him in the ring with Zack Sabre Jr., he'll pull out one of the best sharpshooters you've ever seen in your fucking life. Ishii is amazing, and I am honestly really curious who your top... I think I know 1 or 2. I know 2 of the people that are going to be in your top 3, but I'm curious who's going to round it out.
Yeah, can I just say in my defense, because I'm getting shamed in chat here. New Japan, this was the hardest cycle for New Japan, and I know you would agree with me because of the message you sent me about how hard it was to make your list. I sympathize. New Japan was easily, dude, the hardest promotion to make the top 5 for, without question. It's my favorite promotion right now. The roster is loaded, and I had to be very selective in my choices. All those caveats aside, my number 3 is Kenta.
Oh my God. Who am I overlooking? I thought he and a certain other person would be your top 2. Who am I overlooking?
We'll get to it, man. But so Kenta was in your honorable mentions, right? So I can actually talk extensively.
Yes, please do. Yes.
Oh my God, dude. Kenta being back. It's so emotional for me because I love watching him work. I know that, now here's the thing, if I'm being truthful, he's never going to be the same Kenta that made his name in Noah because those matches are fucking legendary. I watch them. I get glued to them the same way I get glued to a Misawa match. But I think even given everything that's happened to him and stuff, he still knows how to work a match. He still knows how to make those strikes mean something. He kind of shares that affinity with Suzuki in a way. And he's so good. He's so good. I'm so proud of him for becoming the never open weight champion. Wow. The first GTS he hit on Ibushi, I popped big. I damn near got tears in my eyes. I'm shocked that he's heel, but you know what? It really fits him, and he's a heel that doesn't say, show me respect after every maneuver. Everything just feels better with him right now, and I loved watching him in the G1. I think his match with Ibushi was one of my favorite matches in the G1, and the Okada match definitely lived up to my expectations. Seeing him put motherfuckers to sleep, him putting Tanahashi to sleep, I will stand him forever for that alone. He's incredible. I adore him, and I'm so happy he's home. both literally and figuratively. He's right where he needs to be. So Kenta is number 3 for me.
And I realized while you were talking who your number 2 was.
Awesome. So in the meantime, though, because you said Ishii was your 2, so wait? I'm just trying to keep track because I know like I had people that were higher on your list. Your 4 for me was Ishii. That was your 2. 5 for me was Moxley. Who was your 5 again?
My 5 was Bandito. My 4 was Moxley. I haven't given my 3 yet.
Okay, you haven't given your 3 yet. So who's your 3? Okay, now that
William Ospreay is my number 3.
I should have known, dude. I should have known. All you.
I mean, yeah. To me, I genuinely, Will Ospreay had 2 of my favorite matches in the G1 this year. His matches with Ibushi and Tanahashi were, I would say, probably 2 of my top 5 G1 matches this year, with the other 3 all being Ishii matches.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like his performance in the BOSJ was also amazing, and then his performance in the G1 was amazing. Like, from what I understand, he's the only person ever, and especially the first ever Gaijin, if he's not the first person, to compete in the New Japan Cup, BOSJ, and be G1 Climax all in the same year.
Yeah, holy shit, that's stacked.
He hasn't skipped a single beat. Every match, he's just great. His matches with Shingo and Dragon Lee earlier in the year were incredible. So good. And then you put him in the ring with guys like Tanahashi, with guys like Ibushi, even Okada. His match with Okada was probably one of my top 10 favorite G1 matches too. And he just knocks it out of the park, man, every single time. I like Jay White. And I think that Jay White is an amazing heel. But if New Japan wants a new foreign ace, a new Gaijin ace, it ain't Jay White. It's fucking Will Ospreay.
You know what? I more or less assent to everything you just said, and if nothing else, Ospreay is showing, because of what a workhorse he's been, how bad he fucking wants it.
Yes.
To relocate here, to relocate to Japan.
Him and B, they both moved to Japan together.
Yeah, like, that's commitment. Say what you will about Gaijin and in Japanese promotion stuff, because I have some friends with some weird takes and stuff like that, but when you make that kind of commitment, I don't care if you're native, you're foreign, or anything in between. Like, you work for it like that, that's good enough for me. How the hell?
I mean, yeah, man, and you've had moments where you've really gone out of your way to kind of point out how big of a deal it is when people like Kenta, Kairi, Io, Shinsuke pack up their things and move all the way to the US. Will did the exact opposite.
Yeah. He took a big gamble, and right now it's paying off for him, and I'm happy for him. But in that spirit, we already knew Ishii was your number 2.
Yes.
So my number 2, Juice Robinson.
I knew it. I figured that out while you were talking about Kenta.
Yeah, dude. I feel like Juice is ranked lower consistently on my 5A. In fact, let me even see right now. I didn't save number 7 on my computer, but I saved number 6. I want to see where Juice ranked number 6. He was number 3 on my number 6 one, so he's been steadily climbing.
The last one, he was number 4 for you.
Oh, so he even dropped. Yeah, this is the highest he's been. He's incredible. Dude.
He was also number 4 for you on the 5th one.
Oh, wow. So yeah, he's leapfrogged 2 whole spots.
And he was number 5 for you in the one before that. I'm trying to find the last time we did a New Japan list that Juice wasn't on for you. Here it is. January 1st, 2018 was the last Five Fave Five that we did that did not include Juice Robinson on your end.
So he's come a long way then, is our point. And he's such a great fucking wrestler. Because again, given my shift in tastes of what I like, he is a character wrestler. He does the selling with his body language and just selling in general. He's an amazing promo. Oh my God.
He had a candidate for Markout Moment of the Year without having to do anything painful to his own body. Like, the other candidates for Markout Moment of the Year are like, holy shit, Joey Janela just sunset flip powerbombs Darby Allin through a table. Holy shit, Dominic Dijakovic just did a fucking Spanish fly to Keith Lee off the top rope. Juice Robinson's Markout Moment of the Year involved him grabbing a referee's pant leg.
And yes, and as I was saying, like, he's such a sincere promo.
Yeah.
You root for him. he has that likability. Like he's an underdog without being excessively so. He's very human, and I resonate with that so deeply. I get into his matches in a very similar way to Ishii, except I don't know. I guess just this time around, Juice did it more for me in that vein than Ishii did. And I can tell you, man, it's beautiful to watch. Every time he teases Pulp Friction, I get a hitch in my throat hoping he'll hit it. Every time he vies for a championship or has a chance to beat a champion, I'm like on the edge of my seat watching it, just eyes glued. I think he has one of the best themes in wrestling. I listen to it a lot, like on our off time, like when we're just doing our own thing before we meet up again.
Yeah.
I love the theme. I love his look. And I will say this every fucking time we get up here to do this, because this is the most appropriate commentary to say it. Leaving NXT was the best thing to happen to that man's life. Yeah. Because if he was in NXT, either he'd be called up right now and being wasted, or he'd still be in NXT and he'd be looked at as nothing more than maybe even a gatekeeper at best. Here, I am telling you, dude, he is such an underdog. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, because with underdogs it never does. I would love to see that man compete for the IWGP Heavyweight title in the next 3 years.
And I was even going to say, if anyone is going to compete with Ospreay for the next Gaijin Ace, it's Juice.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the people love him. They're behind him. And the thing is, Ospreay's gotten the big wins. He beat Tanahashi in the G1. Yep. Now, Juice has gotten big wins before. He beat Kenny Omega in a G1. But I feel like Ospreay gets bigger wins at a greater consistency than Juice does. But I like it like that.
Juice gets one a year. Ospreay gets 2 or 3 a year.
Exactly. I like when the big wins for Juice really feel earned. And that's what's going to keep him likable. That's what's going to keep people rooting for him. Because the thing is, what makes Juice so prime for this culture, and this is probably the most I've talked all commentary about a single performer, is that, Brian was right. People are fickle. We love a winner until they start winning. Like that's kind of the contradiction of most wrestling fans. But with Juice, he wins just enough and loses twice as much that I don't think he'll ever lose favor with a crowd. And I want the best for him. I get goosebumps thinking about him standing across from like a Jay White or an Okada or somebody for the IWGP Heavyweight title. And I hope we're there to call it. And I am just going to lose my fucking shit, especially if he rolls a motherfucker up and gets the upset of a fucking lifetime. That's what this dude evokes. It's emotion, it's passion, it's artistry. It's everything right about pro wrestling, and one amazing human being. It's Juice Robinson. So, with that said, yeah, thank you.
I'm pretty sure we have the same number 1, brother.
Do we?
Murder Grandpa.
God. No way, he made your number 1 too?
Fuck yeah, he did.
Dude, you got to go first then, because I did not expect him to make your number 1.
Hell yes, yes, Suzuki is my number 1. Yes. Are you kidding me? It took one match. It took one fucking match. Really 2 matches, because he had the tag match with Zach too. But for him to get back into my number 1 spot, because I don't care how old he is, there is nobody that really, and this is me with him above Ishii even. Nobody gets me behind them more than Suzuki when they're going for like big stake stuff. Like, and I think it's because I've just been so beaten down by Ishii, and I've kind of conceded that he's never going to get there. I still have hope for Suzuki, man. I still have that hope that he'll win that title just once, just so that he can say that he's the king of Japan. He's held AJPW's Triple Crown Championship. He's held Pro Wrestling Noah's GHC Championship, the world title. He just needs the IWGP World title. And he's also held the IWGP Never and Intercontinental titles as well. He's held every championship. He needs to win the IWGP World title, even if he only holds it for a week. Even if he only holds it for a week. Even if he holds it for a fucking day. He needs to win that thing before he retires. And I want to be live reacting to the match that he does it in. And until it happens, I'm going to believe that it's going to happen every single time we go into a match of his. And it's going to be amazing, like last night, or like yesterday. It wasn't even last night. It was yesterday afternoon. Like, to me, his matches are so next level. And especially because there's that factor of, like, this older guy going against a younger guy and just teaching him a fucking lesson. Just proverbially pulling out that strap and giving the kid a whipping because he just knows he wasn't punished enough as a child. I fucking love Suzuki.
Dude, everything you just said was like an amazing soundbite in itself, and this is the only time, because I kind of self-imposed a rule on myself that if Ashton already said all there was to say, I would just keep the commentary moving along, but fuck it, it's Suzuki. I'm going to break the rules just for him. This dude is fucking amazing.
Yes.
I need... Okay. Calm down, John, because I want to give my thoughts systematically. Okay, one, and I know I'm going to sound like an asshole probably to our chat, we had people on the Fave 5 and honorable mentions. They had tournaments. They had pay-per-views. This guy has only had, pretty much the whole fucking time, 2 shows. And, like, he did more in 2 shows for us than people had entire tournaments to do. I'm sorry.
I've seen Suzuki twice in the last 4 months. I've seen Goto probably close to a dozen times in the last 4 months. And I've enjoyed the maybe 45 minutes of Suzuki wrestling. I've enjoyed the, like, 4 or 5 hours of Goto wrestling.
Dude, night and day.
And I like Goto. I'm not trying to insult Goto. I like Goto. I enjoy his matches. His match with Shingo was amazing to me, but it wasn't Suzuki amazing.
Dude, like night and day. Night and fucking day. I'm actually glad I'm going second because I do have some new stuff, I guess, to share. I'm a fan of Kaze ni Nare now.
Oh!
Dude, I need to share something with you guys because I guess Foster really liked what I said about Juice, but he was shocked. Like, you say all that about Juice and he is a number 1. I got so into that Royal Quest match when Suzuki held his arms up triumphantly after knocking Okada the fuck out.
Yes! Dude, did you see the crowd shot of that spot?
You know what, dude? I want to actually go back and watch the match a 3rd time just by myself with all the noise and everything because I'm trying to remember what it was, but I feel like the crowd was into it, weren't they?
No, dude. There was a fan uploaded a video that they recorded from the audience of that spot, and you could fucking hear Suzuki's arm connecting with Okada's fucking jaw.
That's amazing.
Like, he winds up, and you just hear, like, and it's like, holy shit! He did it like 4 times, and it was only after the 4th one that he raised his hands up, and I was like, oh my god, this dude's the best.
Bro, I love this match so fucking much, and not only have I already rewatched it again with my friend Andrew, I told you about before we went live, I changed Suzuki to my desktop wallpaper. Before, just to give everybody context, I'm such a philosophy nerd, my desktop wallpaper before was the School of Athens painting. I changed it to Suzuki wallpaper because I said, you know what? If I'm as good at philosophy at 51 as Suzuki is at wrestling, I've fucking done something. Like, this
that's
dude,
a different kind of inspiration.
Yeah, like this because oh my god, there's so much I want to say, and that's why I broke the rule. He competes at a level at 51, and everybody understand me when I say this because I need everybody to fucking understand. Okay, when I say level, I ain't talking about doing a one-time gig. I ain't talking about putting a young gun over. I'm talking a main event, sold-out crowd, world title level. And he competes at it. And he competes at it believably. This dude, and dude, I gotta share with you because I think this will warm your heart to hear this. It's not just us, dude. I don't even know if you'd be surprised, but a lot of people want Suzuki to be IWGP Heavyweight Champion at least once before he retires. I'm honestly thinking like a movement's about to start because I think that finish to Royal Quest made so many people angry. Because I even
Suzuki
said, like,
for G130,
dude, please, like. It made me feel so good, and I retweeted and I liked every comment that was pro Suzuki. I wanted him to win, put the world title on him, because again, in case anybody forgot, 51 fucking years old, and he has this level of respect and fanfare. You go anywhere else and you show that to me, I'll wait. Like, he is just on another level. And again, going back to that Jake Roberts quote, it's not the moves that you do, it's when you do them and how you do them. Suzuki doesn't do flippy shit. He just hits the fucking soul out of you, and he chokes you out with a fucking sleeper. And that Gotch pile driver, dude, when he hits it, it is.
You know it's over, and that's why it was so frustrating that he kept not hitting it yesterday.
Dude, oh my god.
I will say though, part of that is New Japan. Part of that is the way that New Japan protects finishers, because they will go out of their way to make sure that if somebody with a devastating finisher is not winning a match, that they will not hit the finisher in that match. New Japan protects finishers better than any wrestling company I know of. Fucking Io's moonsault already got kicked out of twice by, well, technically once, because she kind of pulled Cammy Fields' head up and didn't let her even get an opportunity to kick out. But still, like, her moonsault's already been kicked out of. We've seen people kick out of Trouble in Paradise countless times before, even if it's getting a little more protected recently. Like, this kind of, even Daniel Bryan's running knee, that was protected well for a while, but then Roman kicked out of it. Like, even in NXT, I mean, we always talk about how great NXT is, and I think we would agree that NXT is probably our second favorite promotion behind New Japan. NXT doesn't protect finishers anywhere close to as well as New Japan does. Nobody ever kicked out of the One-Winged Angel. The closest anyone came was Okada getting his foot on the rope. That's it. No one ever fully kicked out of it.
Right.
Even like the Rainmaker. That went years without anyone kicking out of it, and the first time someone did was Tanahashi, and again, it was a foot on the rope. Like, New Japan protects finishers better than any promotion in the world right now, and the way that they do it is so simple. They just have the guy not hit it if they're not going to win the match, and I love that.
I love it too. And Suzuki, just to put a pin on it, I shared in the chat, Ashton, if you haven't seen it, an iconic photo from that title fight of just the sweat being slapped off Okada's face that somebody took. It is epic, dude. That match, I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch it a third time. A match of the year contender for me. There is just an emotional element because, again, this is a fandom commentary. So when we talk about marking on emotions, it's perfectly appropriate here. I get so emotionally invested every time I know Suzuki's competing for that world title. And I honestly think that Suzuki pursuing the world championship is one of the best unwritten stories in New Japan right now. Because it's not like an active story, but like it's one that I think that we've created, and it's my favorite. Because if it ever happens, dude, I mean, I've marked out before. I might fucking cry for that man winning the title because and he might win it when he's 52, 54, because, I mean, he's 51 now, but he didn't win this chance. I don't know when he'll get another title shot. But to be in his mid-50s probably, if he does ever win it, and to go and to be as legit as he is, and I say it over and over again, and how I want to put a pin in it, when that man retires, because he said the day he retires is when he knows he's no longer putting butts in seats. The day he retires, everybody better remember what he gave to Japanese wrestling and the wrestling industry in general, because this dude, you want to talk about legitimacy and protecting kayfabe, this dude's the fucking muscly guard at the front of the fucking door. Amazing. All my bowing and respect. And again, I'm a fan of Kaze ni Nare now. After the match happened, I looked it up, I listened to it, and I get it now. I get it now. This man deserves to be world champion. And if you would have told me, if you would have gone back in time to like when I was just starting to become a bit smarky, and you would have been like, the guy you'll really want to be a world champion, you're going to be a fan of this promotion called New Japan, and the one guy you'll really want to be world champion is a 51-year-old, I would have laughed in your fucking face until you showed me who that 51-year-old was. Legend. Fucking legend. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yes. And honestly, I'll also add, I agree with you about like the day he retires. That honestly, on a personal level to me, Suzuki's retirement might be the most emotional that I will have ever gotten up to that point about someone retiring in wrestling. Because like Paige's retirement was devastating. Daniel Bryan's retirement was very devastating, but I was more angry about that because I was under the impression that it was more WWE just not clearing him than him actually having to retire.
Right.
Suzuki, though, when he retires, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep my eyes dry, honestly.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. We'll be sharing a tissue box because I'm telling you, like, they don't make them like Suzuki anymore. And, I'm not trying to say that as like a bad thing.
But you're again, right. You're right. He is very unique. He like... The closest thing to Suzuki that we've had in the last, 15 years was Shibata, and look what happened to him.
Exactly. Oh, my God. I love him. All right, man. I'm really glad we got to share that. That's definitely been the high point of this commentary for me so far, but let us get now, this is going to be exciting, to Stardom.
Yes.
All right. My honorable mentions, because I'm still feeling out this promotion, guys, so I'm probably not going to have much to say even about my Fave 5. But my honorable mentions: Kagetsu, Natsu Sumire,
wow,
Azumi, and Starlight Kid.
Nice, I like it. My honorable mentions. I actually have 3 of your honorable mentions also in my honorable mentions. So I've got Azumi, Jungle Kiona, Kagetsu, Starlight Kid, Tam Nakano, and Utami Hayashishita.
Very nice. Very nice. I have a feeling our Fave Fives are going to be very similar. This is going to be a clusterfuck happening right here. So number 5 for me is Konami.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah, Triangle Lancer effectiveness, 100%.
Yak%.
My fandom for her, I guess 100% would be if she was in the number 1 spot, but I mean, high enough to get her in the Fave 5. I like her striking ability. I want to see more of her matches.
Do you know how to say 20 in Japanese?
No, I do not.
Juni.
So,
Juni%, because 20% out of the 100 that would be number 1.
Very nice, very nice. So yeah, I definitely want to see more of her, but for now, I'm liking what I'm seeing enough to have her make my Fave 5. So who's your number 5, Ashton?
My number 5 is Natsu Sumire.
I love it. All right,
I'm surprised she didn't make your list, man. You always talk about how much of a treasure she is.
She is, and I want to protect her, but honestly, I'm thinking about the women that I've been seeing more of, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, man. So
okay, that's cool. Yeah, I was tempted to put Azumi here, believe it or not. Azumi was the most in contention for this 5 spot with Natsu, and I just decided to go with Natsu because nobody sings Emblem better than her.
I was even going to say that, I mean, and she has a number 1 hidden emblem, so she's cross-promotional, music and wrestling.
Exactly.
Can't go wrong with that. Moving right along.
I honestly, though, I love that she's more diverse and more versatile than people give her credit for. Because, she's a comedy wrestler first and foremost, but you look at her winning, her post-match promo after winning the artist titles, she is perfectly capable of drawing at your heartstrings, perfectly capable of having serious matches, as we saw against Hana Kimura. And I just think that, it's also really interesting to me that she's independent. She's not signed with Stardom yet. She's more independent, and she's still, kind of gets her own, man. I just really like Natsu. She's a great performer. I was really hoping to see her in the Casino Battle Royale yesterday, but after seeing kind of the way that the non-signed girls were treated, I'm actually kind of relieved that she wasn't.
Yeah, Natsu is definitely very precious to me. I honestly think I love her variance as a comedy wrestler because we saw recently in her match with Hana Kimura that she can turn it off and be serious, and I really like that. So great sentiments there. Number 4 for me, Arisa Hoshiki.
Oh shit!
What? She ranked higher for you?
You know what? Yeah, she did. She ranked number 1 for me, actually.
I told you it was going to be a clusterfuck because we're only just starting with Stardom. You go first since she ranks so much higher.
No.
Actually,
no,
I
should
go first.
Yeah.
I'm just really starting to dig her. Her kickboxing and seeing that in her matches is so good. I love the little things she's got going on with Tam Nakano where she loves Tom and she loves Mayu, but Tom doesn't love her, but Mayu loves her. She's just got that adorable factor, but man, she's fierce. I think she's doing great things for the Wonder of Stardom title from what I've seen so far. Again, we're really going to start having more substantive discussions, probably in a few months when I'm more ingratiated to Stardom. And
it might take us another 2 or 3 weeks to be fully caught up on the 5-star because of all the drama that's been going on with Stardom on the administrative side, but that we've got plenty of time because our next 5 Fave 5 is January 1st, 2020.
Exactly. So, yeah.
We've got a full 4 months, and that entire span also encompasses the rest of the 5-star Grand Prix, the entire 5-star Tag League, and the year-end climax, which is Stardom's WrestleMania, basically, in December.
Nice.
So yeah. I think we're going to have much more hammered-out opinions, and especially in your case, because you don't do as much, extracurricular research as I do. Stardom by our next 5 Fave Fives.
Absolutely. So what do you love about Arisa? So much so that she's number 1.
Yeah, man. It's really one of those things, to me, it was really there were 3 girls that I had that I could have made number 1. And I really was just thinking, who do I kind of see as the most rounded performer? The one that I love their matches and I love their promos equally as much, or at least the most in total. And out of the 3 girls, one of them has better matches than Arisa. One of them cuts better promos than Arisa, but Arisa's promos are better than the Match Girls' promos to a much stronger degree than the Match Girls' matches are better than Arisa's matches. And Arisa's promos are not as much worse than the Promo Girls promos, as much as her matches are that much better than the Promo Girls matches. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Like, let me put it this way. My number 3 is like a 9.5 out of 10 matches, but then like a 4 out of 10 promos. My number 2 is like a 9 out of 10 promos and like a 6 out of 10 matches. I see Arisa as like a 9.5 out of 10 matches and like an 8.5 out of 10 promos. You know what I mean?
Very nice. Very
and
nice.
And I think that her personality is also really infectious. Like, she's got this bubbly, sweet personality. She's always smiling. She wants love. She wants to love everyone. She wants to be friends with everyone. And when she comes up against someone that doesn't immediately love her back, there's tension. And that tension leads to amazing matches, as we've seen with her match with Tam Nakano, her match with Hazuki, her most recent match against Jungle Kiona, who is another character who kind of loves everyone, and yet they still had an amazing, hostile, tense match. I thought it was great. And like you also kind of mentioned already, Arisa is kind of becoming Stardom's answer to that best bout machine that people are always calling Kenny Omega and us calling Ishii, because her title defenses have all been amazing matches. Now, granted, they've been against great talents, but she also elevates people. Like Tam Nakano is a very talented performer, but her best match, to my knowledge, is the one she had against Arisa.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So Arisa almost has like that Sasha Banks element too, where everyone's best match is against her. You know what I mean?
I love it, man. Great shit.
And I also really like her music too. So Unlimited Gator, man, it's pretty good stuff. I love her entrance theme, and I like her band's music in general. So she was once I really sat down and kind of thought about it, she became a pretty easy decision to have number 1 for me, for myself.
Well, number 3 makes me feel really good because she always tells us that everyone is different and everyone is special. Hana Kimura.
Oh my God, Hana is my number 2.
Again, I knew this would happen, man. I knew this would happen, but Hana, she's really grown on me. And let me tell you something, dude, because you said our next 5 Fave 5 will be in January 2020.
Oh, dude, you kind of skipped me. I never got to tell anyone who my number 4 was.
Oh, shit, that's right, because I blanked. Who is your number 4? I apologize.
My number 4, well, shit. I'm guessing my number 4 is going to be one of your top 2. So it doesn't really matter how we do this, because we're going to fuck each other over either way.
Well, we'll just come out with it. Who's your number
Mayu.
4? Mayu was my number 2.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, kind of worked out anyway. Yeah, Mayu is my number 4. She was your number 2, so I'm not going to say as much. I just think that she is an amazing wrestler and has one of the most well fleshed out characters in wrestling that I think I've ever seen, as far as just like this kind of forgetful ditzy girl who, when she steps between the ropes, becomes a fucking ravenous murderer who can destroy necks with the greatest of ease. It's amazing. And including her own. She destroys her own neck with the greatest of ease as well, and it's kind of impressive.
Yeah. Mayu, damn, what do I do? Okay, I guess I'll just talk about Mayu now, and then we'll just do number 3, I guess. Mayu is fucking great. I love her matches. I love her personality. She's definitely making me feel feelings of protect her at all cost feelings, similar to Kairi. Fuck you, Momo Watanabe. And I just look forward to
honest
to
question, if we were
that.
making like shit lists, obviously Taguchi would be number 1 for you in New Japan. Who would be number 1 for you in Stardom? Would it be Saya Ida or would it be Momo?
I think it would be no. Because Momo is genuinely good in ring. She's genuinely good in ring. And Saya, it's not that she's awful. I just really hate her existence. But Momo's an insensitive feelings herder. Oh, wow. I think I'm going to give myself an aneurysm. Fuck. No. You know what? No. Yeah, it would be Momo. How dare you side with the person that made Mayu cry? That's like making her cry by proxy. So, yeah, fuck Momo Watanabe. She would be number 1. But yeah, man, Mayu's great. Love her matches, love her personality. She's just a complete package. That's all there is to it. So I guess just to round off my number 3, and then I'll just
Hana Kimura.
Hana Kimura. What I was getting ready to say was, you said that our next 5 Fave 5 is in January of 2020, right?
Yes.
If things are going at this trajectory, Hana will probably be number 1 for me. And it really also, of course, depends on what my number 1 does in that time. but Hana is great. I love her look. I love the Internet Friends theme so much so that I listen to that in my off time.
Yeah.
I love the aesthetic of Tokyo Cyber Squad. And just from a cultural, situational kind of standpoint, her heeldom is fascinating. Because obviously you and I talked about it. She does do jerky things and standard heel 101 things. But her acceptance and her cosmopolitan attitude of like, oh, everybody is different, everybody is special, like being the number one source for heat, it's like a whole new kind of xenophobia of sort. I don't even know how to.
She really reminds me of like 2016 Naito, because 2016 Naito, when he came back from Mexico, like he had a very nonchalant attitude, but a lot of the things that people hated him for were because he wasn't going out of his way to be this like overly honorable, like the Japanese stereotype, basically. Like he was breaking a stereotype. He wasn't being, he wasn't treating the titles with respect. He wasn't being respectful and honorable enough and stuff like that. And because he kind of broke those norms, people hated him for it. Hana is kind of taking that a step further.
Yeah, she has, and I think it's amazing. I want to see her as World of Stardom champion. I can already feel that rising up in me. And you said though she was your number 2, so I want you to take it away. How do you feel about Hana Kimura? Before
I do that, Javaris wants to know what you thought was going to happen when you realized Momo was the heir to Queen's Quest. She took over when Io the Dick left.
Well, gee, I don't know, Javaris. Maybe for all the factions to settle their differences and hug each other and just rule Stardom together in friendship. I don't know. Maybe actually rooting for kindness for once. Dick.
No wonder Io wasn't in your Fave 5 in NXT.
Yeah,
she planted the seeds that led to Momo's stuff happening.
Yeah, I don't think I've forgiven Io for that either. Thank goodness Kairi left, because if she would have turned on Kairi, she wouldn't have even made honorable mention. She would have been in the fucking dead zone, the fucking black hole.
The shit list.
The shit list, yeah. But what do you think about Hana Kimura, man? Just kind of elaborate on the thoughts you've already kind of shared here.
I think that if there are any Stardom performers left that would actually make it in WWE, Hana Kimura is the only one right now. I think she is charismatic naturally. She's very young. She's like 21 or 22 years old, very young. She's been wrestling, probably since she's like 14, 15 years old, if I had to guess. She's been doing it for a while. She has an amazing look. Very attractive, plus like the pink hair makes her stand out. She can talk with, again, like the natural charisma. She openly uses English in some of her promos because, again, like she is kind of a fucking Westaboo in a way. Like she's kind of a big fan of like American culture and stuff. And then like when you get into her matches, she's underrated in the ring. She's good in the ring, man. Like, she is a power wrestler through and through. She will fuck you up with her boots, which seems to be her favorite move. And I really, really enjoyed her match with Natsu, especially because it was like Natsu was like this, almost like a scrappy underdog babyface trying to fight her way up from underneath. And Hana just squashed that shit. She was just like, no, you're not getting one up on me. I'm not the Goliath that you're going to shoot in the eye. I'm the Goliath that's going to stomp your face into the ground and make sure that you don't live to fight another giant again. And I just love it. I think she's great. I think she's a great heel character with a great babyface message. Like, she's a great heel in Japan, but if you're an American watching Stardom, you almost have to like her because she, again, like, she kind of panders to American audiences more than she does to Japanese audiences, and that makes Japanese audiences fucking hate her. And I love that about her.
Yeah, she's great. She's got it all. And I just see the world for her opening up.
Yep.
It's going to be amazing to witness. Okay, so now that we've cleared that all up, she was your 2. Where does everything fall here? What numbers haven't you given yet? Are we already... What do you have left to give on Stardom, right?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I want you to give your number 2.
Okay. My number 2 already was Mayu, if you remember.
Oh, perfect then. Okay. This worked out really well. Because my number 3 is almost definitely your number 1.
Okay.
Hazuki.
That's right. She is my number 1.
So I get to talk about her a little bit, and then you get the fucking floor. So, I wasn't the biggest fan of Hazuki when she was in Queen's Quest. I've always acknowledged that she was a really good performer in the ring, and I still think that she's really, really good in the ring. But I think that going to Oedo Tai helped her immensely because it just kind of gave her more of an attitude. Like, she's always been kind of sassy, but she was never going to be as sassy as Azumi. She was never going to be as fucking sociopathic as Momo. She just didn't really stand out in Queen's Quest. She stands out in Oedo Tai. And I also think that she is one of the top 2 or 3 best in-ring workers in Stardom. She was one that I mentioned earlier was like a 9.5 out of 10 in the ring, in my opinion. And I think she has a great look. I think she's amazing in the ring. I think she has a very subtle, natural charisma about her. It's like this natural confidence that she kind of has. And I just want to see that translate into more promo stuff. And we don't really see her do promos because it's kind of part of her character. She's like the strong, silent one. I just want to see more from her on the promo front. That's why she didn't get above Hana or Arisa for me. But I'm done, and you can talk about her all you want now.
I love her attitude. You filling in the gaps for me, like about her with the whole Queen's Quest and everything. It made me appreciate her bigger matches that much more. Like her Wonder of Stardom championship match against Arisa, I thought was so good. I think she said at the time that was her 4th time challenging for the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really behind her. She's got a great look. Again, great story. I want to see her do everything, kind of step out of Io's shadow and get ahead of Momo and be World of Stardom champion one day. And I'm just rooting for her. And, we keep talking about Kagetsu's fixation with Azumi and how Hazuki could oust Kagetsu and be the new leader of Oedo Tai. I would love that. Because I already love like the whole story with Hana Kimura, that she kind of went her own way, and her mom being one of the founders, like she didn't want to carry on Oedo Tai, and I thought Natsu Sumire was an embarrassment. So then you could maybe even position a big feud, Hazuki and Hana Kimura, and I think those matches would be fucking insane. I just think the world of Hazuki. I wish Aaron was here because I know he'd really be like reveling in this. But yeah, I think she's awesome, and I think my fandom for her is only going to grow. And again, the only person that I could really see leapfrogging Hazuki at present, because I love Momo, but I really like Momo where she is right now, and I don't see that changing, admittedly, would be Hana Kimura. Because Hana Kimura is really impressing me in the 5-star right now. We'll see. But then again, somebody could come out of left field and do it. But for right now, Hazuki's just doing it for me, and I wish her nothing but the best. Awesome stuff.
Who did you mean to say there when you said that you liked her and you like her in the spot that she's in right now? Because you said
Mayu.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I know people are like, oh, you love Mayu. Could she ever become number 1? I mean, I'll never say no, but I really just do like her in that spot. I mean, hell, for all I know, Jungle Kiona could really grow on me and she could be number 1. But right now,
yeah, man, I really struggled with trying to kind of narrow it down to 5 because I really wanted to fit Azumi and Jungle on my Fave 5, and I just couldn't put them above the women that I had there already.
Yeah, exactly. No, I definitely feel that, man. I absolutely feel that. And again, the biggest threat to Hazuki's number 1 spot as far as fandom goes right now is definitely Hana Kimura. She's amazing. So, all right. Now let's get to our AEW. This is probably one of the easiest for me to make, if I'm being completely truthful.
Really?
Yeah, I really didn't have a tough time with this at all. I did make one change-up, though, thanks to you. Because you talking with your mom reminded me of a certain performer. And then I realized, I should probably put that guy on there. But yeah, other than that, this was really easy for me to do. So,
all right. Well, that's interesting. I guess am I going first here, or are you?
I think you're going first, because I think I gave honorable mentions for Stardom last time. So you go first.
Okay. So my honorable mentions for AEW: Best Friends.
Okay.
Havoc.
Okay.
Single Boy.
Okay.
MJF.
Ooh,
Orange
okay.
Cassidy.
All right.
LAX, now that they're there.
Awesome.
The Lucha Brothers.
Okay.
Sammy Guevara.
Nice.
Sean Spears.
Awesome.
And Yuka Sakazaki.
Very cool.
And I would also add Mercedes Martinez if she gets signed, but it's like a tentative thing because she's probably not going to sign.
Yeah, just knowing who's really established on the roster, my honorable mentions was very bare bones. Dark Order, Riho, Pac, Lucha Brothers, and Hikaru Shida.
Nice. All right.
So who is number 5 on your Fave 5?
Private Party.
They're number 2 for me.
Wow! Holy shit! I can't say I expected that. Wow, okay. Well, I guess I'll just say that I think they're really exciting in the ring, and they're really fun, and I enjoyed every match that they've been in so far, and they have a really dope finisher. And now you can take over, because you have way more to say than me, obviously.
Oh my god, dude. What an exciting fucking tag team. I mean, I forget who they even beat in their first match that Cody said when they walked through the curtain they were offered a contract, but their match that they had recently against Angelico and Jack Evans, I'm here for it. I am so here for it. That match was so fucking good. Mark Quinn has such an inspired look, and he's insanely athletic. Isaiah Cassidy, the same way. He's insanely talented. I'm glad we got to see more of him last night. Their double teams are inspired. Their look, you know what I like about the whole Private Party vibe? I won't call it a gimmick because I don't really know what the gimmick is necessarily yet, but just the vibe they give off. It's cool without trying too hard, and for me personally, I can't speak for every fan, I don't get a stereotype vibe from this team. You know what I mean? I think their aesthetic is very sincere. They're fun. They've got a great energy. And I want these guys to be the exciting and throwing underdogs chasing after the AEW tag titles. These guys are making me fall in love with tag team wrestling the way that the Revival did when they were really allowed to be cut loose in NXT.
Wow.
It's amazing. I feel privileged watching talent like this because, and I know, right, it kind of flies in the face of what I've said several times in the commentary, that I'm kind of growing distasteful to the flippy shit, but these guys just do it in such an innovative way.
Yeah.
It's really that fresh coat of paint, but sometimes that can be enough. And in this case, it definitely is. I mean, rule meet exception when it comes to Private Party. They're fucking awesome. I really, really love these guys. So, yeah, They went all the way to my number 2 spot.
Yeah, I was definitely not. I thought they'd be on your list, but I did not think they'd be that high on it.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, dude, AEW for me was very easy because you already know how I feel about the promotion as a whole. So I think the people that I emotionally connect with, they're going to be coming out of the box hitting a fucking home run. And it's Private Party right there. Already my number 2 pick. So because Private Party was number 5 for you, here's number 5 for me. People are going to want to smack me for this probably. Luchasaurus is number 5 for me.
Oh, what? He's my number 1, dude.
I knew it. Yeah, he's good. He's really fucking good. I'm just not as emotionally invested in him yet as I am these other talents on this list. But I guarantee you ever give this guy a serious singles run, I will be. I absolutely will be.
I think my emotional connection to him started in Lucha Underground when he was Vibora.
Yeah. I mean, this dude
Snaker.
Yes. This dude has such a 90s Kane vibe. It's unreal in the best way, in just the best way. But here's the thing, though. He doesn't have, how can I put this? He doesn't have that the menacing quality in the same way that Kane had. Like, he's menacing, but in a completely different way. And he's not brooding and he's not dark. Like, this is a guy that makes you shit your pants, yet somehow at the same time manages to be family friendly. It's the perfect gimmick. In this climate, it's the perfect gimmick. But that's all I'm going to say because he's your number fucking 1. So
yeah, man. There is nobody in AEW right now that I look forward to seeing more than Luchasaurus. And I think, honestly, that's like if you did a poll, like if you would poll every single person who bought tickets to AEW All Out, bought the pay-per-view, or watched it via live stream like we did, who their favorite performer was in AEW, Luchasaurus would probably get like 50+% of the answers. He is just that good. Like, he's this 6'5" dude who does crazy flippy shit and has like judo kicks that you'd never expect. Dude, he has a reverse roundhouse kick called a tail whip. How can you not love that?
Yeah, dude, honestly, and not even like in a vacuum, I know, like, you already have enough reason to love Luchasaurus, you just stated them. But I love too, given how much like you love dinosaurs and like that level of biology, that like this gimmick exists and that he leans into it, because you must be having the time of your life every time you watch him like out there doing this thing.
Look,
That's
I love
so
dinosaurs, but that has nothing to do with why I love Luchasaurus. I love Luchasaurus because this dude is this gigantic, imposing dude whose gimmick, like, he lives the gimmick. I love this gimmick. I love that he is, quote unquote, a dinosaur, and yet he is an intelligent, like, it's the little dinosaur. Because if you've ever seen the movie The Little Dinosaur, from what I understand, now I've never seen the movie in full, but from what I understand, the dinosaurs are smart and can communicate with each other and humans. The humans are dumb, and the humans don't speak, and the humans have to communicate through their hands and their facial expressions and their emotions and stuff like that. That's what this is, with, you know, two boys and their dinosaur. Because I don't know about Marco Stunt, but Jungle Boy doesn't speak. There was this amazing moment where Luchasaurus said something about how we were gonna be stars or something like that. And Jungle Boy, while he was sitting on Luchasaurus' shoulders, just looked up and he was like, "What?" Like, he didn't say what, but he just had this confused look on his face. And Luchasaurus was just like, "No, we're not going up to the stars. You're the star." And I just love that. Like, this entire gimmick is so up my alley. I just adore it. And Luchasaurus is so obviously the star of the team. Although Jungle Boy is also really, really super duper over. I just don't connect with him as much because he's just kind of another face in the crowd to me, because, like, you know, he doesn't stand out to me. He doesn't have the mask. He doesn't have the size. He's cool and all, and I like Jungle Boy, but there's just nothing about him that stands out to me big time like Luchasaurus. And Luchasaurus is this big ass imposing dude who does flippy shit and can do kip ups and has amazing kicks and understands how to work a hot tag better than, like, I know a few years ago we were talking about how Jason Jordan had the best hot tag in the business. Luchasaurus has got the best hot tag in the business right now by far.
Yeah, dude, I even hear like just the infectious joy in your voice talking about Luchasaurus, and I love it. I'm here for all of it. That's great, man. Is there anything else you want to say about Luchasaurus?
No, I think I'm done. But that was your number 5, so I guess I can tell you who my number 4 is, and I know that my number 4 ain't on your Fave 5 because it just so happens that my number 4 was one of your honorable mentions.
Okay, who is it?
Hikaru Shida.
I love that she made your Fave 5. Yeah,
I'm so angry that she isn't in the first ever women's championship match for AEW. Like, honestly, her match with Riho was really good, but I would have given that up if it would have meant that she would have been able to be in the Casino Battle Royale and won it, and then maybe even gone on to face Riho in a more meaningful match for the first ever women's title. But still, like, she is far and away my favorite Joshi wrestler that is signed with AEW, and she's actually like, she is doing the whole shebang. She's doing the thing that you praised Kenta for, that you praised Kairi for, that you praised Nakamura. She's packing her shit up, leaving Japan and moving to the US to be a full-time wrestler for AEW.
Yeah, that's...
Riho isn't doing that.
Yeah.
Riho is going to be here once a month. She's going to show up to one time every month. She's going to be on AEW.
Yeah. Which, oh god, does that mean Nyla Rose is going to be our first women's champion?
I don't want to talk about that right now, but still, Hikaru Shida, if Nyla does win the title, Hikaru Shida needs to be the one to take it off of her. And frankly, even if Riho wins the damn thing, I want Hikaru Shida to be the first challenger and win the fucking title then. I think that she is... You could build the entire AEW women's division around Hikaru Shida. She can be your Io Shirai. She is that fucking good. Like, she's not necessarily as good as Io in the ring, but from a personality and a character and standpoint, and she's still really good in the ring, she can be that type of character for you in AEW. And when I say Io Shirai, I'm not talking about NXT Io Shirai either. I'm talking about Stardom Io Shirai. That's what I mean when I say you can build a division around her. You can build the entire women's division in AEW around Hikaru Shida being the fucking mountaintop that people need to try and climb, that people need to try and overcome. She's that good to me.
Dude, I love it. She only missed my Fave 5 by a hair. I think the next time we do that, and hopefully...
Be honest, I know you mentioned you put Luchasaurus on your list late. Was she on it before he was?
I believe she was. Yeah, she was. Yeah. And then I remembered Luchasaurus, and glaring. I just feel like... Beg pardon?
I said glaring. It's glaring. Overlooking Luchasaurus is a glaring mistake.
Yeah. Well, no, and I agree. That's why I corrected him. But she's really good, and I was really glad to see her in a singles match. I hope that I grow to like AEW more when they formerly had TV, and I do have to give them credit. Kenny lost, Cody won, which I didn't care for. But it really seems more like a Bucks lost, so it doesn't seem like it's going to be a Breakfast Club to their credit. I'm hoping the TV follows that.
The Breakfast Club that I'm concerned about is Cody and Brandy, but again, thankfully Brandy was eliminated in the Battle Royale, but her good friend Nyla Rose won it, so...
Yeah, I feel like they're telling a long-form story with Brandy as they're going to try and make her simple. I don't even know what they're going to fucking try and do, but I do think that belt will get around her eventually, and then I'll cry. But, Hikaru Shida is amazing, and I agree with everything you said. So, with that said...
Your number 4 is...
Darby Allin.
Oh, Darby's my number 3.
Then I'll just talk very briefly. Love the look. I love he's not just another crazy hardcore wrestler, but actually has some more substance to him beyond that. And the promos I have seen of him, dude can talk, and I love it, and I'm here for it. Enough said. What do you love about Darby Allin?
Pretty much everything you said, man. Yeah, like he's a really exciting in-ring performer. He very, very rarely, because I've been watching wrestling for over 20 years now. Very rarely do I ever see anything that makes me go, holy shit, I've never seen that before. And Darby Allin ollieing off of the top turnbuckle on a thumbtack-laced skateboard and landing on Joey Janela's back is something I've never seen before in wrestling until yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's very unique. His style is so unique. I love the way he moves around in the ring. He's another one like Isaiah Swerve Scott, who just moves differently. Like, rather than running to a spot, he'll fucking roll to it, or he'll get down on one knee and slide to it. I just love it when guys move differently. It's very Great Muta-esque to me. The way that these guys are not only changing their moves to be different, but changing the way that they move to be different. And I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah, I think you articulate everything perfectly.
And I'll also add, I agree with you. I think he's a really underrated talker, too. I think Darby Allin's a really good talker. All
right, number 3 for me, Britt Baker.
Wow.
I have loved watching her work. I'm loving watching her grow as a performer. Her making a beeline for Bea Priestley, who, honestly, I really don't care for Bea at all. I will say that. Like, between the two, like, I root for both her and Will to be successful. I like.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't call myself a Bea Priestley fan, but between her and Britt Baker, give me Bea every day.
And dude, a funny, crazy thing about Bea, quick sidebar, because I'm seeing a lot of crazy wrestling news on my timeline right now, and you already saw Paul reported about Casey. Apparently, now I'm waiting for somebody to substantiate this, but apparently Sadie and Bea got into like a shoot confrontation backstage, because apparently, according to a lot of people, it seemed like Bea was no-selling a lot of Sadie's offense in the Battle Royal. So you and I should go back and watch that Battle Royal and see for ourselves if Bea wasn't like selling for Sadie at all.
You know what, dude? I think it was actually Sadie's elimination, because Sadie did that like military press drop where she lifted Bea up and dropped her, and Bea fell and then immediately popped up and threw Sadie out of the ring. That's probably what it was, because it was there. You would never be able to tell that hurt Bea at all. She fell on her on her chest, on her stomach, and then immediately popped up, grabbed Sadie, and threw her out of the ring like it was nothing.
Yeah. So, man, a lot of crazy stuff happening. But yeah, just watching Britt Baker's development, I think she's got a great look. I enjoy her in the ring. And yeah, I love that this woman went from like dentist to pro wrestler. That's I think a great story.
Apparently, she's still a practicing dentist.
That's amazing. I mean, maybe her, but when Cesaro shattered all of his teeth, I wonder if he called her. But
Adam Cole got him the hookup.
Yeah. And I don't think they're giving her too much too fast either. It's not like she won the Battle Royal. She was the last eliminated, but
I would have preferred her to Nyla.
Yeah. I think they're doing the slow build with her, which I like, because I don't want too much too fast for somebody like her. Like, she's not the fucking Fiend where I'm ready for him to take the world title yesterday. It's Britt Baker, so we're going to temper our expectations. But I really like what I see, and it feels good. I will give AEW this much credit, because I keep saying that their tag division and their women's division are going to make this company. It's great that on two separate lists, I've got women highly ranked that aren't Stardom, because Stardom, of course, it's all going to be women. And, Britt's just doing it for me, so it's good shit. Who is your number 3, though, sir?
Number 3 was Darby Allin.
Okay, yours is Darby Allin. And then, who's your number 2, then?
My number 2 is Los Güeros del Cielo.
I love that we both had tag teams, and they were the tag teams that faced each other last night.
Yeah, man. I actually had both the tag teams that were in that match made my fave 5. Los Buenos del Cielo at 2, Private Party at 5. I really enjoyed both the teams in that match. Los Buenos del Cielo, though, man, there's just something different about the way these guys move too. Like, they're not as different as Darby Allin, but god damn, man, Jack fucking Evans. I mean, when you were talking about Private Party, you talked about innovative. Jack Evans innovated half the shit that everyone's doing these days. Back in the mid 2000s, like
True.
Jack Evans is a true innovator, and I feel like we've only seen like 30% of what Angelico can do in the ring so far in AEW. Like, I really, really want them to actually let him uncork and just do his stuff, because like we haven't even seen an over the corner, over the turnbuckle, over the ring post dive yet, and he used to do that seasonally in Lucha Underground, at least once or twice a season.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you're not speaking any lies here. Jack Evans is incredible, and it's nice to see Angelico really be able to work in a company, and you know, I can actually foresee him having a legitimate run with a company, not having the hiccups known as injuries that he unfortunately suffered in Lucha Underground. So it's just it's good shit, man. I love that you have them on your list. Does anybody even need to guess my number one? I mean, really? Like, we all know it, right?
I don't.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Oh, of course.
I mean, okay. I'm actually going to start this with a story, because I read on somebody's Twitter today, and a lot of people were genuinely offended by this, that MJF was interacting with a disabled fan, and he said, "Oh, hey, look what I can do," and he got up and he walked off and he left. So I guess just to say, like, oh, I can walk and you can't. And a lot of people were angry at him that, like, he would do that, like, oh, there's heat, and then that's heartless, man, or whatever. And then there were some disabled fans that piped up, and they're like, well, I've had, like, spinal stenosis. I've been a chair for 10 years. If you would have done that to me, I would have loved it. I can tell you, as a disabled fan myself, that actually had one encounter at a Force One show of a heel using my disability to get heat, I don't mind it at all. Like, it's entertainment. It's the business. It's not punching down. It's not saying anything vile or disgusting or anything like that. It's working the fucking crowd. And I love that this dude, in an era of everybody trying to be cool and move their merch, this guy really is committed above all else to being a fucking heel. And it works. And the thing is, dude, the reason I have him at number one, because AEW-wise, he really hasn't been on a lot of the stuff. Like, he did the tag match with Shawn Spears that they won. He wasn't even on All Out, except he was Cody's corner man.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff, too, comes from, like, the backstage content that I see on Twitter, that I see on YouTube, the press conferences he gives. Dude, he had a video. I need to share some of this shit with you, because I need to start checking on MJF's Twitter a lot more, where he said, you know, Cody Rhodes, he's my mentor, my best friend. You know, that whole spiel that he does. And, like, the crowd popped for Cody. They get a round of applause. MJF encouraged it. He's like, yeah. You know, without Cody, none of us would be here. And he said, I wanted to read you all a poem that I wrote for Cody. And it worked on two levels. One, it wasn't even a poem. It was a letter talking about, like, oh, how inspired I am by you, and you give me strength and all this stuff. And the crowd starts whatting him hard. And, like, he's like, don't say what? What? Don't say what? Shut up. And, like, he's like, oh, I lost my place. He said I lost my place 3 times, and he would keep starting the letter over and over again until at the very end of the video, he's speed reading the letter through this sea of what chants. He worked them so hard, dude, had him in the palm of his fucking hands. He roasted an ESPN reporter. The ESPN reporter asked him a question, how would you feel about Adam Page winning the championship? Do you want him to win because you feel like he'd be first in line? And he said, well, that title's going to be on me no matter who wins it. That was honestly the stupidest question I've ever heard in my life. You had a chance to make a name for yourself, and you blew it. And just laid into him. He's amazing. And now keep in mind, take my voice and my beautiful face, if I do say so myself, and replace it with MJF's douchey face and his voice, and you can imagine that I was dying. Javaris even tweeted at me. I don't know if Javaris is still here. I think he might be. But he even tweeted at me when I shared that clip of him roasting the ESPN reporter. He said, I realized that I can't have a conversation with MJF because there's a 9 out of 10 chance that I would smack the shit out of him. And, like, that's how you know this dude is fucking money. I can't wait for him to be AEW world champion and hopefully go on, like, a 9-month to a year heel run. I think he's one of the best promos in the business that not enough people are talking about. And, yeah, he's salt of the fucking earth, and I adore him. I could watch this guy talk for hours. And I don't say that about many talkers. I think that's an elite group. But yeah, he is one of them. He is so good, dude. I love him.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I really shouldn't be surprised at all that he's number one for you. But I'm glad that you did explain that the biggest reason he's number one isn't necessarily because of anything he's actually done on any AEW shows, because he's been so like barely exposed in any of those, but it's because of the backstage stuff and the YouTube and the Twitter and that kind of stuff. That makes a lot of sense.
And can I just say though, as far as AEW stuff goes, just the promos he's been allowed to cut on there, whether it was the one at the gaming convention, where he said, "Oh, I used to love video games until I lost my virginity," and then the one he cut on Adam Page, calling him Seabiscuit, and Brett was there, and he said, "Oh wait, Brett, a fan's coming." Like, I love it. I love it so much. So I'm really, really curious, because MJF was in your honorable mentions. Who is your number one, dude?
You already know Luchasaurus is my number one.
Luchasaurus is number one. That's right. Yeah, again, when our lists get all topsy-turvy like that, I tend to forget. But all right, that rounds out.
Just to recap, I'm going to recap everything before we get into our master list. So, WWE. I'm not going to do honorable mentions. WWE. My top 5 was Ricochet, and starting from 5 down to 1. Ricochet at 5, Humberto Carrillo at 4, Andrade at 3, Buddy Murphy at 2, Daniel Bryan at 1. John, Cesaro at 5, Sasha Banks at 4, Andrade at 3, Bray Wyatt / The Fiend at 2, and Kairi Sane, of course, at 1. NXT, John did Cameron Grimes at 5, Bianca Belair at 4, Tyler Bate at 3, Velveteen Dream at 2, and Matt Riddle at 1. I did Rhea Ripley at 5, Isaiah Swerve Scott at 4, Angel Garza at 3, Matt Riddle at 2, and Io Shirai at 1. New Japan, I did Bandito at 5, Jon Moxley at 4, Will Ospreay at 3, Ishii at 2, and Suzuki at 1. John had Moxley at 5, Ishii at 4, Kenta at 3, Juice Robinson at 2, and then Suzuki at 1. Stardom, I had John, actually, I'm going back to John, had Konami at 5, Arisa Hoshiki at 4, Hana Kimura at 3, Mayu Iwatani at 2, Hazuki at 1. I had Natsu Sumire at 5, Mayu Iwatani at 4, Hazuki at 3, Hana Kimura at 2, and Arisa Hoshiki at 1. Finally, AEW, I had Private Party at 5, Hikaru Shida at 4, Darby Allin at 3, Los Sueros del Cielo at 2, and Luchasaurus at 1, and John had Luchasaurus at 5, travesty, Darby Allin at 4, Britt Baker at 3, Private Party at 2, and MJF at 1. So now, John, who is your number 10 on your overall master list?
I would say MJF at number 10. Coming in at oh wait, are we gonna go back and forth with our 10s? Is that how you want to do this?
Yeah. 10, okay. Then 10, then 9, then 9, then 8, then 8. Back.
Awesome. Who's your number 10?
Are you sticking with MJF at 10?
Yes.
Wow, I'm really surprised you didn't have him higher. Okay. 10 for me is Luchasaurus.
9, Ishii.
9. Wow, again, I'm surprised he wasn't higher. 9 for me, Jon Moxley.
8 for me, Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream. 8 for me was Will Ospreay.
7 for me was Kenta.
Nice. 7 for me was Arisa Hoshiki.
6 for me, Juice Robinson.
Wow, okay. 5 for me, 6 for me, Buddy Murphy.
5 for me, Minoru Suzuki.
Holy shit. All right. 5 for me, Tomohiro Ishii.
Number 4 for me, Matt Riddle.
Same, bro. Same.
Number 3, Andrade.
Wow. 3 for me, Minoru Suzuki.
Number 2, Bray Wyatt.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Okay. 2 for me was Io Shirai.
Number 1, Kairi Sane.
That's not surprising. Number 1 for me was Daniel Bryan.
Awesome. I really had fun with this. This, I think, was actually one of our better 5 Fave Fives just because of how different our lists ended up being.
Dude, your top 3 in the world right now were all WWE.
Yeah, I got to give them credit. They at least did that right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, your top 4 because Riddle is under the umbrella.
Yeah. So then the first top guy for me outside of the WWE bubble is Suzuki. So that actually does fit, given how much
I mean,
love
Suzuki
him,
was my top guy outside of the WWE bubble too, but I had Bryan and Io, the only WWE people ahead of him, and Bryan, the only main roster guy ahead of him.
Yeah.
Wow.
So great top tens for both.
Why
of us.
was Johnny Mundo or Johnny Elite or Johnny whatever you not in your?
I just I didn't really feel like it was right because I haven't seen really anything from him in that time, and I know we try and keep it to people that we've watched. Dude, I'm telling you though, he goes back to WWE or he goes to AEW, everybody better fucking watch themselves except for Kyrie, because he'll take that, and hell, he may even be so good that I'll be like, Kyrie, this is only a momentary goodbye. This is only see you later, not goodbye, because he is insanely good. I haven't forgotten. I just hope that the world hasn't forgotten either. But yeah, I really love doing this. Thank you to everybody for your opinions, for your passion, your energy, just everything on this. I have no earthly idea why we got 3 dislikes on this, but if you guys could even it out with your likes as you file out, I would greatly appreciate that. This was amazing. And now we are in the month of September, so a new month begins like a new slew of commentaries, and we'll see you guys again. When are we seeing them again, Ashton?
Wednesday for NXT live reactions.
Well, there you go. Wednesday for NXT Live Reactions. So enjoy your Monday and Tuesday as the King of the Ring tournament rolls along. And yeah, I'm going to hand it over to Ashton and take us home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do hope that you all enjoyed this commentary. We would also love it if you would post your 5 Fave Fives and maybe even your Universal Top 10 down in the comments section. Once you get the time, it's it takes maybe a half hour, 45 minutes for me at least to do it. So maybe if you decide that you want to kind of take advantage, go for it. Regardless, though, we would definitely appreciate a like on this video. It would definitely help us out. Like John said, we had a few dislikes just for whatever fucking reason. I don't know. But we would appreciate it if you would like the video. You can also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click the bell icon to join the notification squad. Follow us both on Twitter and on Twitch. Like our Facebook page. Buy our merch on Teespring. Donate to our Patreon. And share this channel and this video with all your wrestling fan friends and let them in on the best kept secret in the YouTube wrestling community. That's right. We are TWitWoW, and we are the workhorses of the YWC. And man, you sure as hell wouldn't be able to tell it from our next couple weeks of schedule, because right now, the only commentary that we have actually planned for this week is our NXT live reactions on Wednesday night. And man, NXT reactions are about to get a whole hell of a lot more interesting about 17 days from today, because when they move to the USA Network, it's going to be 2 hours long every Wednesday night. And then starting in October, what is it, the 2nd? I guess it's October 2nd, AEW will be going live for the first time on TNT. And John and I hammered this out already. We will be doing our first ever TWitWoW simulcast live reactions, where we will be live reacting to both NXT and AEW at the same time simultaneously. We are going to have both shows pulled up in separate tabs. I'll probably have one on my computer and one on my phone or something along those lines. And we're going to do our best to catch as much of both shows as we possibly can. We're going to need as much input from the chat as we can get. You guys are going to have to remind us, like, hey, this crazy cool thing is going down in this show, or this cool thing is about to happen on this show. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's probably going to be one of our most interactive series ever, and we are going to try and continue doing that for as long as it remains a not mentally draining experience. So I'm excited about that, but that's still a month away. Until then, we're probably just going to be doing NXT live reactions and the occasional requests. And of course, next Friday, we'll be doing preview predictions for Clash of Champions and then live reacting to it 2 Sundays from today. So we hope that you're all excited about the future of the content of this channel. And of course, we also will be live reacting to Stardom 5-Star Grand Prix. Basically, as soon as the 8:25 afternoon show gets uploaded in full, we will find a time to live react to that. Then when the night show gets uploaded in full, we'll find a time to that. Basically, as the shows get finished, we will find our time and make sure that we live react to those. But we can't schedule them properly right now because we don't know when that's going to happen. Hopefully, we'll get more back on a regular schedule in like 3 weeks or so, maybe 2 or 3 weeks as far as Stardom goes, because they're in really kind of a chaotic situation right now with the website. So we hope that you're all able to be patient with that. We hope that you all look forward to that. And of course, we hope that you all remember, of course, because we are still going to be live reacting to NXT every week on Wednesdays, to stay tuned.